All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. You know, rock and roll feuds are certainly very interesting. People like to get involved, and they put themselves in the place of the people that are feuding. They take sides, obviously. I deal with this all the time when I talk about Journey. People, they dig in and they take their side, and no matter what side I've taken, I tend to end up being a loser to some degree, maybe figuratively and literally, because taking sides in these battles, oftentimes when you don't know all of the facts and all of the things going on behind the scenes, it can make you look really foolish. And I've been there. And I've done that, and I've tried to learn from that. But, I still stick up for Dennis DeYoung in the Styx thing. The Journey thing's all over the place right now, so I don't know. And there are a bunch of other bands out there that have had issues over the years, but few like the current situation between Graham Nash and David Crosby. Something just completely made Graham Nash go bonkers against David Crosby. And we'll pick up this interview from 2016, and it's a quote that has been circulating a lot around the internet. It's David Crosby, he tore the heart out of CSNY. So let's listen to Graham Nash talking about this in an interview he did from 2016.
It would be very easy for me to get into details about why I don't want to do any more Crosby, Stills and Nash or Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young work. And I don't want to. There are too many reasons. It's too complicated. It's too painful. I'm just telling you, it's over.
All right. And I'm going to continue. I just want to give folks a warning that there is one particularly foul word that David Crosby is going to use. Begins with an F and ends with a G. So it's the verb version of the word, just to be warned.
Isn't that a shame?
Incredible. It's an incredible shame. Because when we're good, we make very good music that touch people's hearts and changes their minds. Of course it's sad. Of course it is. Of course I'm going to miss it. Next.
When did you make the decision? Was it during the song, you wrote the song, or was it prior to that?
Right before that. Right before I wrote the song.
And have you spoken to him after
No.
you wrote the song? Would you like to talk to him?
No, I'm not interested.
And if he reaches out to you?
He can try all he wants. It's a little fucking late.
It really, you're angry.
Yeah, I'm angry. He tore the heart out of CSN and CSNY in the space of a few months.
All right. So, yeah. That's as strong as you're going to hear. And the one thing about David Crosby and Graham Nash and Stephen Stills and Neil Young, these are guys that all tend to write and wear their hearts on their sleeves. They write the same way. They're very blunt. They're very vivid. And if anything, probably Graham Nash might be the most subdued of the songwriters. But if you look at even Stephen Stills, I mean, they put things out there that are quite stark. So the good news, if you want to look at it that way, is Graham Nash had a more recent conversation here with Paul Schaefer, Mr. I Run the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I get issues because it just seems like he's got too much control over what gets nominated. Not sure if he has that much control about what gets in, but anyway, he's one of the electors, like the Electoral College. That's what Paul Schaefer basically does for the Hall of Fame. They should make me one because every year I would be picking. I'd have so many bands lined up. Jim Croce would be on the list. There'd be so many people that deserve to get in who haven't gotten in for arbitrary reasons. But I'm digressing here. I want to pick up the conversation with him and Graham Nash because it gets a little better here.
Right. And we hear sometimes, I mean, I heard a quote about you. You said, David, rip the soul out of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Yeah, well, you couldn't still feel that way.
You know, you say things in anger and you try and take them back, and you can't sometimes, you know, because words are very powerful. David and I haven't spoken in 2 years.
Yeah.
Having spoken to him probably almost every day for 45 years.
Yeah.
It's just sad, and I don't quite know how to undo it, you know. Maybe it's just all, I mean, if we never played another note of music, CSN or CSNY, look what we did.
Wow. At least, you know, there's not the anger there, but this is a guy who honestly is upset. And even though time has gone by and it seems as though he'd be more willing to maybe reconcile, they still haven't spoken in years. And that interview, I believe, was from 2019. So this is just very bad news if you're a fan of this band, who I've listened to in fairly recent concerts. And you would think these are older guys that can't do what they used to do. They really are still able to do what they used to do. This is music that is harmony-based when they all get together. And Stephen Stills, his voice has probably changed the most of anyone's voice. Not necessarily the tone, but his diction and so forth has changed a lot. But when they get on stage together and blend, it's just, there's no other band that does this. Just no other band. And if you're not a fan, go back and listen to their material from the early days back in the late 60s and early 70s, and you're going to hear just masterful, like Beethoven, Mozart quality rock music being created by these 3 or 4 guys who just belong together and were meant to be doing this together on planet Earth. So I guess we can all just hope that this thaws out a little bit more. We are in the midst of a global pandemic, so sometimes people rethink their priorities during times like these, and they'll say, hey, this is really stupid. This is just dumb. I know this was a really big deal at the moment, but it ain't a big deal anymore. Let's go make some music. Let's do a live concert for everybody online. And it would be a great way to kind of get our feet wet again and thaw things out. And maybe that would lead to some reunion shows when everybody can get back out there to see concerts, which they're telling us it's going to be a while. I'm hoping they're wrong. But in any event, very powerful interviews here with Graham Nash, who seems like a likable guy. I wouldn't mind hanging out with Graham Nash because he would teach me a lot about things I've never heard about because it was before my time or it was when I was just a little kid. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the videos and hit the bell for notifications. That's a good thing to do. And Patreon, for just $1 a month, you can be part of the conversation over on Patreon, where we talk about all kinds of topics, not just 1 or 2 bands. No, we talk about all things pretty much are on the table. I may not like everything that you're talking about, but I will respect it, listen to it, and then, of course, throw an opinion or 2 down. And that's typically what I do anyway, except we can have these direct conversations. So there you have it, folks. CSN, are they done? I hope not. I hope we see more of them because they're legends and they're all still with us, and it would be a shame if this just ended the way it's ending for so many fans of this amazing group. All right. See you soon.